So a couple of years ago, my dad and I were sorting through old junk and we found a box of DVDs from the early 2000s. I don't know how to describe this movie selection except as the cinematic equivalent of a frat house dumpster fire. I got my hands on the old DVD player. Good news, I revived it, it's alive. Bad news, I don't have a remote, so I just have to press the buttons manually. So this week I watched roughly the annual lineup of one film festival. So here's a very questionable review. Equilibrium. This is a dystopian movie that's supposed to be scary, but it quickly turns into an action choreography tutorial, a very goofy one. It does, however, start off horrifying. I am talking jaw on the floor level. The premise is that human emotion is the reason for wars and destruction, so every single citizen of this dystopian world has to get an injection to be emotionless. No love, no poetry, no crying, any of the above, you're done. Cut skipping is shut, you're done. Even the children are terrifying. So the top enforcer kills his most trusted companion for reading a book. He did the same to his wife, mind you. Then he misses a dose and starts to realize the horrors of the system. Although, at some point, the movie transitions from the wannabe philosophical dilemma to Christian Bale being a professionally trained hitman slash breakdancer. If you're hoping for increasingly ridiculous fight scenes and a chiseled jawline, look no further. Also, from a more critical perspective, when it comes to the general idea, we're supposed to be living in a world where everything that triggers emotion is outlawed, yet the characters, who are said to be stoic, still act on their anger and fear, and there is no shortage of greed and jealousy. So even when we suppress emotional expression, it doesn't remove human impulses. 15 minutes. Robert De Niro, so we pay attention. Mr. Fleming is a famous detective. His investigative breakthroughs have made him somewhat of a celebrity. A couple is murdered, a case is launched, and he ends up mentoring Geordie, a rookie detective, who is very lovable and also played by Edward Burns. The criminals in question are two Eastern European men who film their crimes. They want to turn the footage into a documentary and become millionaires, so naturally they are extremely violent and also very dumb. I'm not going to spoil the movie for you because it was actually a good watch. There's romance, genuine tense moments, good action scenes and plot twists. Geordie is an underdog and you end up rooting for him. And the movie knows exactly when and how to become bittersweet. House of Sand and Fog. Excuse you, how much emotional damage do we want? Yes. This one stays with you. Everyone is drowning. Everyone is making bad decisions. No villains, and that's why it's so upsetting, because in real life, it's not always some big obvious villain. Just misunderstandings, fear, bad timing, and people being too desperate to step back. So it's about a depressed, freshly divorced young woman, Kathy, and she loses the home she inherited from her dad. There's some kind of tax mail that arrived at her doorstep and she didn't read it for a couple weeks. The tax itself was wrongly issued, so she didn't actually owe anything, but now the sheriff is here to evacuate and auction her house, which they do. It's bought by an ex-military man who moves in with his family. They have fled their country because their life was in danger, and the man has used all of his savings to build a life for his children. Kathy is heartbroken, desperate. She starts making really bad decisions. She doesn't have a support system, and it just gets worse. You know, the whole movie is just people making really bad decisions. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. The story is about Chuck Barris and his double life, showman by day, CIA assassin by night. Okay, why does every suspicious man have access to international espionage? Ironically, I have to confess, I ejected the CD after the first 20 minutes. It's R-rated. The R stands for read the frickin' cover. Otherwise, you'll be sitting there mouth agape while the dude's girlfriend is trapped under the mattress and he's on top of it spraying himself with mosquito repellent. Honestly, I was too busy thinking about the mattress situation to focus on the following covert operations. Because why are we cosplaying a bedbug? Is that hot? Am I too much of a prude? It feels like it failed every safety inspection. Ma'am, you need an exit plan and sufficient ventilation. Hello, that's like the world's least romantic hazard assessment. Speaking of questionable romance, I heard that there's going to be a movie adaptation of the book Haunting Adeline. Yeah, let's not do that. Anyway, Further commentary has been suspended due to psychological whiplash. Investigation remains open, however, because it is starring Julia Roberts, and I think I might pick it up again. This barely covers half the movies I watched, but if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay safe.